हाँ तो ये Hi, these are all the books. If you can see, I just got from there, and some of the books are in my another room, and I have to put them back. That is going to be a disaster for me because I'm very cold and I just don't want to do anything. Okay, let's start what I have read this year. Okay, so first one is Gog by Canal Wallace, a novel. It's a really good book. It's very interesting. It tells us about the life of Van Gogh, his POV. The storyline is a little bit sad, and in the end, he died. So I really like this book. I think I'm gonna give it 4.75. I like these kind of novels that gives you a purpose in life, gives you about life and more about a person's choices. It kind of gives a non-fiction vibe, but obviously it's a novel. So 4.75. Then I read this romance novel. It starts with us by Colleen Hoover, and its second part, it ends with us. No, this is the first part. It ends with us, and then it starts with us. It's a cute romance. I'm going to give it 4.5. I like the vibe and the storytelling, the letter she was writing, and everything about it. Then we have Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I don't like this book at all. I don't like these type of romances. Please don't write it. There are readers that want to read these type of books, so maybe I'm gonna give it 3, 2.75, not sure. The Do Over by Lynn Painter. A lot of people were reading it, and I really at that point I really wanted to read a romance book, a good romance book, but it's fine. It's high schooler kind of romance. I'm not gonna read it again, or it's like 3. Okay, so this is the book. No, After Normal People, Beautiful World, Where Are You? I bought this book, very expensive book. I bought it from Karachi airport, and people were raving about it. People were talking about it. They were like, this is so good, blah, blah, blah. But, I feel like a lot of contemporary writers, I don't know what's going on with this book. Look, this is already, the paper is destroyed or something. A lot of people are liking these type of books. I know contemporary writers around the world don't have much going on, so I could not read it for months. It was so depressing. I mean, first she was not accepting the romance in the life, and then she just got married, and there are two friends who could not meet because they were not together, and then they were sending emails to each other. So I would give it 3, 2.75, not a big fan. And I could not read it for like 2, 3 months. And then a romance book get me out of that slump. Sorry, Sally Rooney, but I know you love these characters, but I don't. I got to know about this book on TikTok. BookTok. Fine Print and Terms and Condition by Lauren Asher. And it's a good romance book. I mean, why not a multi-millionaire boyfriend or a husband? It does not hurt anyone. I read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I know this book is very old, but I have watched the movie and I did not want to read it. But this year I bought this book. It was expensive. Readings, you should do better. Found a lot of pages on Instagram and I started buying from them rather to buy from Liberty Books or reading. So this book is 4.75 for me. Very sad. It's a person who is writing letters and telling everything about its life. Very sad, not good for depression. So read it when you are mentally stable. Okay, then I read Persuasion. I would give it 5 stars. I even like the book. I think this book I read in January and I could not finish this book. This is very depressing. I know a lot of people are fan of Sylvia Plath, but I cannot read Bell Jar because as you know that Sylvia Plath committed suicide. So I could not read it. And I think I was 25 pages or 40 pages in, but it was so depressing for me, so I have to let it go. Wish You Were Here. This book was good. It was written about COVID and the person who is experiencing that she moved to Spain or somewhere, and then it was all a dream. She did not even go there. I like the book. It's a good book. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really like the book. This is a 5-star read. I really like the writing style and the climax was, oh my god, he was not even in love with any of her 7 husbands, by the way. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan, and it's such a good book. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. It's a very sad romance book. You should read it. It's just so cute. You're going to miss your college days. It's so good. Then I have read The Dance of Thieves and then Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I would give it 5 stars. It's a story of a thief who went on a command of a queen to a land where she found out this man and she was strangled with him. Like, they were stuck somewhere and then she fell in love with him. The story goes on. It's an adventure, but there is a little bit love story in it. So it's a cute book. I really like this. In May or April, I have read The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy. I have started this book like 2 years back and I still could not finish it. As you can see, my bookmark, it's on page 151. I don't know, this I love Asian writers and I love Arundhati Roy. I love God of Small Things. I would give it 5 stars and I could give anything to reread that book. But this book, it's just too much. So many things are going on in this book. Too many characters, so many things. So I could not grasp it. Maybe one day I will reread this, but right now I could not. I still did not read Ikigai. It's still in cover. The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down by Heyman Sonim. It's such a good book and it has like pictures in it and it's like sort of a self-help book with a little bit messages. As you can see the drawing. Let me show you one more. This is such a cute book. And then it's just a healthy guide of a lifestyle and I really like this book. Oh my god, so many books I have read this year. Then we have a Cruel Prince series. It's a series about a girl who went into a fairyland but she's not happy with that fairyland. I don't like the story very much. My cat is like scratching my sofa. So I really don't like the story and I was anticipating a lot of things, but I would give it 4 stars maybe. My favorite series of the year, the series that put me to read fantasy, this is it. ACOTAR series. I know people are reading this series from quite some time now, but I'm a biggest fan. It's a person who turned into a fairy because she was punished for something and then she fell in love with a fairy. You will forget about the first book because the second book is so good when the Night Court and all the things you get to know about his personality and the person he was, her mate, and all the things he has done for her. I mean, then we have war and stuff and then we have POVs. There is another book in this series. I haven't read that. It's a 5-star read for me and I'm going to read Sarah J Maas another series, Glass series. I have to order it yet. So maybe next year in January I'm going to order that. You know, I love ACOTAR series and the second part is my most favorite, The Court of Mist and Fury, and I don't like the cover. It's just such a thick book and I really want to order Glass series as soon as possible. If someone wants to send Glass series to me, sure, you can send me. I have read the Wicked series. After reading ACOTAR series, I was like, I can read all the fantasy books. Then I ordered Kingdom of the Wicked series. It's a series about Hell Prince and witches and their past, beautifully written, and I would give it a 5-star. So if you are a fantasy fan, then you must have known about The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Then I like the book, but sometimes it gives me the vibes of ACOTAR series when they talk about the dragon mates and it was giving Hunger Games vibe. I would give it a 4.5, maybe 4.75, but not 5-star. So I have to yet read another part. It came in November, that is Iron Flame. So let's see, I'm going to have to order it. Maybe I'll read it next year. And we have Twisted series. Oh my, I don't like it. I like the first part. I'm sorry, Anna Huang. I have read the first part and I'm currently reading your last part. I did not like the second part. I'm not going to read the third part. I would give it 3 stars, maybe 3.5 stars, not sure. Brutal Prince. After reading 25 pages, I left the book. So bad. So bad. Like a person who is so disrespectful toward a woman, how can they fall in love with them? Even if they do, what should you get out of it? nothing, zero. So I'm not gonna read it. The second book I like this year is Divine Rivals. It's a story of a person who went to war for her brother, and in the end you don't know if this rival survived or not, because that man followed her to the war. If this is a spoiler, yes it is, but the story is not that. It's a story about war. So when I was reading it, it kind of reminded me of Palestine and Israel situation. He has written the whole scenario as two gods are fighting with each other. So the storyline is so good. The writing style is so poetic. I cried in the end. I could not sleep at night. It's just so good. So I think this is a 5 star for me. And then the OG of fantasy world kind of gives you Hunger Game vibes, but Lauren Roberts has written everything in this book. Rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers. I don't even know the name of the troops, but she has written everything. She has covered everything. The writing style is so good. Kai, oh my god, I'm in love with him. And then the lines are so good. Look at the tags. I'm obsessed, and I'm waiting for the second part. The Reckless, it's going to come in February. It's gonna be so good, but the romance and the dialogues are so good. So many things are going on in this book, so it's a 5 star. I think I'm going to give it 5,000, not just 5. I'm reading Twisted Lies. I don't know why I'm reading it. I'm just bored of every book. I don't want to read non-fiction. I don't even want to read fiction right now. I'm done with fantasy. So I just wanted something light. So I feel like I should read it. And it's a light book. Right now I am halfway through it. Last book I am reading is The 7-Year Slip. I have yet to complete this book, so I can't review it, but I have heard so many good things about it, and Sarah in her YouTube videos gave it 5 stars, so I'm gonna continue reading it. And on my TBR list for December, we have these books. So these are the books I have to complete in December. I'm going to tell you what I'm reading, and I have to finish this. Only 15 days are left, I think. The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. And someone recommended me Mafia Troop. So it's The Sweetest Oblivion and The Maddest Oblivion. I'm not sure why I ordered this, but someone recommended me that I have to read it. So I love action. Let's see. These 3 books are like getting viral on TikTok and on YouTube. So I have to buy these. The first one is A Curse of True Love, Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballet of Never After by Stephanie Garber, and these books are going viral, so I have to read it. Then we have God of Wrath by Rina Kent. I think this is a fantasy book. I don't usually read synopses, so I don't know what is going on in the book. Then we have The Queen of Nothing. As I told you that I have read The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and it's a 3rd part, The Queen of Nothing. Meet meow. Song of Achilles, and I'm halfway through it. I did not complete it. I don't know why. Then Happy Place. Don't like this book. It's a romance. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. And Things We Hide from the Light. I read the first part, Things We Never Got Over. I'm not a big fan of these type of romances. It's not cute to read, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Amla Shamsi, Home Fire, and it's good. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. These are all the books that I have read this year. Let me count. I hope that I'm going to finish all these books. I think these are 8 books left. So maybe I will read 50 books this year. At the end of December, 50 books. I'm kind of ashamed because I should have read more. But maybe I'll read more in next year. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.